So this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. We ain't playing with you. Enough of the shenanigans. Enough is enough. And for those of you who are soldiers, you know how to do it. Do it right. Be in order. Make them pay. I love y'all. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone. So here we have another Democrat threatening Trump supporters. They're going to use soldiers and hunt us down. A Democrat rep, Cynthia Johnson, was caught on tape taping herself threatening Trump supporters. And this lady actually is an elected official. We are blown by the idea that elected officials are actually going after what we consider about half of the population of voters in America. This is just another example of the continued hate and violence from the Democrats. We talk about them being the party of tolerance, but really those words are very shallow. They only use those words to get innocent young kids to buy in so they can get a few extra votes. But these people, let's not joke around about it here. They're more than willing to use violence to get what they want. We have to ask the question, is this woman actually a terrorist? I mean, under actual labeling, do we call her a terrorist? Terrorism, by definition, is the unlawful use of violence, intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims. That is the very definition of terrorism, and that is what this woman is doing. So, is terrorist charges going to be brought up? We wonder. And these are elected officials that can actually push the pen to paper. Keep in mind, we have other Democrats in higher positions that said similar things, and they're still allowing them to retain their positions. The only reason why this woman is out is because there were Republican members in her group that were able to get her out for those talking points. Had it been a group of Democrats, you would have never seen this on TV. This is a person who is race baiting. This is a person who is, in plain English, activating a group to commit actual hate crimes. We think it's really funny. This woman at the end, she claims that she's going to get them. Everybody's going to get the Trump supporters and all this. And at the end, it's, I love you, God bless, all this sweet stuff. What are you, some mean person or some really nice person? Or you're just somewhere in between and you're kind of crazy? It just seems so funny that the woman flip-flops so quickly at the end of this video. The one example out of every Democrat that we tend to run into, we're constantly amazed at how mentally unbalanced they are. Democrats are just making more Republicans every day with this type of language and hatred of fellow Americans. You're talking about your neighbors. You're talking about some of your own family members. But we're glad that she's off the job. We guess that's an actual good example of what the poll watchers went through before being thrown out. Just dealing with straight up thugs. Again, this just proves that BLM and Antifa are actually organizations. People like this want to race bait people into a race war. And when you think like this woman here, that she's going to attack people for being on a certain side, we have one question for you. Who's being the Nazi now? Who's the person that's going out saying the opposition is so horrible that they have to wipe them out? Either this is terrorism or it's totalitarianism. Which is it? Because you're not talking about a democracy where opinions can thrive. You're talking about shunning opinions, stifling opinions, attacking people for the things that they believe in. If anything, this is just more proof that something was indeed going on in Michigan. Probably Georgia as well. These are blatant threats of violence. She's basically telling her BLM and Antifa quote-unquote soldiers to attack Trump supporters and quote, do it right. So in other words, really rub the salt in their wounds when you beat them down. That's the kind of people that these people are. They think of the people that they attack as vile, repugnant, irredeemable, as Hillary called it, deplorable as well. Again, these words had meaning when Hillary originally used them against Donald Trump and his supporters. When you call somebody irredeemable, you're saying that their life isn't worth anything, that there's nothing to redeem them for. When you end your whole entire rant with, "I love you all," you're not the most stable person in the world. You're asking for violence and then talking to your people, telling them that, you love them. It's absolutely bonkers that people think this way. One day, the Democrats will absolutely regret doing this threatening. Sure, we had Trump supporters here and there that made threats, that did random things. We even had a guy that was supposedly a bomber that went out to a lot of these politicians' homes, ironically. But you have a group of people that have dragged people out of cars and beat them because they were Trump supporters. You have people that burned down businesses because somebody they thought supported Trump. Almost on a nightly basis everywhere in the United States, there's at least one Trump person getting harassed, beaten up, and even murdered. And you mean to tell me that the party of tolerance isn't committing any of these atrocities themselves? They're saying that their actions, no matter how horrendous they are, the end justify the means. If they can wipe you off the planet, if they can destroy you as a quote-unquote racist, then the world is supposed to be a better place. What they don't realize is when they're attacking people like that, they themselves have now become the racist. They themselves have now become the Nazi. And just like with anybody else in human history, they don't want to take the blame upon themselves. They don't want to look into that mirror. Am I really a bad guy? No one wants to look into that and see the true self. And the Democrats, they'll never see the true self. These people are nothing but, if anything, wrapped in power and money forever. We don't really understand what this woman is trying to accomplish here. Many Trump people are locked and loaded, and trying to tell your quote-unquote soldiers to quote-unquote do it right is not the brightest idea ever. When you tell them to go out in there and do that, you might lose a few of your own. It's not the smartest policy of any quote-unquote leader, as if this woman should lead anything. Sometimes Twitter, Facebook, all these things where people go out and talk about themselves to the world on Facebook end up being incredibly beneficial for the rest of us. These people are essentially talking to themselves, and you can get all of their private information from a simple video. But this woman, she got slapped down, removed from the committee, and more discipline is to come. She needs to be charged and removed from her position. You're threatening actual American lives. No matter if you consider them racist or not, whether you consider them xenophobic or not, whether you consider them whatever. Could you only imagine if a Republican went out on a limb and tried to attack homosexuals? Could you imagine if a Republican went out and tried to attack every foreigner? It's actually absurd that these people come up with this ideology that a group of people in America is to be hated on. We thought America was supposed to be beyond that. But in some way, I guess we should feel better, knowing that she's threatened us Trump supporters, but she really does love us. We have in our government a group of mass psychopaths. No rhythm, no reason, no rhyme, just crazy, unadulterated, and hateful. This shows you, when you have a mutant get into the Michigan House of Representatives, how much people pay attention to their voting and how much cheating probably has occurred. Hey Cynthia, check out that map of red states joining the suit against you. People like this need to be brought out of office. They're self-hating, anti-American liberals with ideologies that are only good for other racists. But yes, folks, you heard all of this right. Your freedoms just got threatened by a politician. Anyway, you folks have a wonderful afternoon, a good night, a good morning, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that around here. Also, drop a comment down below. We really do appreciate it. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell. If you don't hit the notification bell, you might have a problem getting our videos. God bless each and every one of you. See ya.